Welcome back to JW World News. And today's news takes us to a little town called Filipilo. Filipilo. So here it is on the world map, Filipilo. And this, if we zoom out, is not too far from Panama City in the country Panama. And that's just here between North and South America. So that's where the news brings us today, folks. And the news is a man of God was killed in the middle of a shootout in Filipilo. So let's see what happened here. Here's a little picture of it. Oh, I see. Now, here it is. Operatives, a shooting carried out by rival gangs left at least one dead and four people injured on Saturday night in the Philippines, or in Panama, in this town. The violent episode originated in Village 17, Manzana 8 of Filipino, when the gang members, disguised as agents of the Judicial Investigation Department, entered this certain sector, firing bullets, and five people who were in the place were injured. One of them died minutes later in the emergency room of the hospital. So the victim was identified as Carlos Alberto Cortez, who was a member of the Jehovah's Witness Church. Apparently, Cortez was carrying out the work in the area when he was hit by bullets. So he was out in the door-to-door ministry. That's the work that Jehovah's Witnesses do. The National Police reported that the gunmen have been fully identified and that they will soon be captured. It goes on to say he was a man of God, commented a person on social networks after the violent event. What a pity that the innocent people die here at the hands of criminals where justice is. And they go around saying that they need dismantled. I don't know who was taken prisoner, but everything remains the same, another internet user posted. Carlos was not a gunman. He was a servant of God. He was in the wrong place, since these criminals do not care who is there, another commented. Until the month of April of this 2023, the public ministry has reported a total of 177 cases of homicides nationwide. So here at Jehovah's Witnesses, this man, Carlos, was out in the ministry and he was shot. So there's a lot of shootings happening now relating to the Kingdom Halls, Jehovah's Witnesses, and out in the ministry. Now, here's another one. Rockford, a teenager was charged with fatally shooting Jehovah's Witnesses. And that was that drive-by. That was where the 54-year-old brother, Jehovah's Witness man, was sitting in his vehicle. They're out in the ministry. And his family members were at the door knocking, and this vehicle drove by and shot him. Another one. We go to the two dead after a shooting at the Jehovah's congregation in Thornton, and this is in Colorado. We remember that incident. That's not too long ago. So there's a lot of shootings. Jehovah's Witnesses were, they're shocked all over. So yeah, police have confirmed that two people are dead after a shooting at Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall in Thornton on Christmas morning. So what's that all about? Jehovah's Witnesses and shootings. Now we go to the Washington situation here. This is Department of Justice. Washington man charged with hate crimes for shooting and damaging Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Halls. So according to the indictment, on or about May 15, 2018, the defendant used a semi-automatic rifle to deface, damage, and destroy religious and real property at the Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall of Yelm, Washington, because of the religious character of the property. So another one. shootings, Could you imagine being in the Kingdom Hall when this happened? And then what about the paper bomb in Italy just recently? A paper bomb was stuck in the door and blew the door wide open. Good thing no one was in there. So here's another one, another shooting between two Jehovah's Witnesses in the parking lot of a Kingdom Hall. Shots fired by 66-year-old man in alleged financial deal gone wrong. So two Jehovah's Witnesses were discussing financial matters in the Kingdom Hall parking lot when one of them pulled out a gun and fired two bursts at him. Luckily, there was no fatal outcome because the guy had an iPad and the bullet got lodged in the iPad. But again, shootings at the Kingdom Hall. What's going on? And the worst one is the Hamburg, Germany, of course. That's the worst one. That's the Hamburg shooting in Germany. 7 killed in an attack on Jehovah's Witness Hall. It was a former member who was disfellowshipped. They were announcing it that night. He went to the Kingdom Hall and started shooting. Fortunately, the police were in the neighborhood, got there within 4 minutes, and it was all over. So now, what is it with all of these shootings? Now we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 now that I know of. There's probably lots more. But what's going on at the Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Halls? This has to make all of us wonder on the outside how lucky we are that we got out of the Jehovah's Witness religion. And the other thing that brings to my mind is who's taken responsibility for the families that are left without fathers or mothers because of all these shootings. Ones that go out in the service. For instance, this man that was killed in the middle of this Filipino town. He was in this area, and he was sent there obviously by JW.org because they have the whole world mapped out, and it's so important for them that Jehovah's Witnesses get to every door and knock on every door in the world. So now when they get shot in the crossfire, who's responsible? Who's going to pay for the women, the children that are left behind without a father? Who's going to look after them? You see, within Jehovah's Witness religion, there's no charity programs, there's no financial aid, there's no help that goes to these ones. Even members that serve their whole life in Bethel leave or kicked out, they have nothing. They have no program, no social security program, and they're told to go to the food banks. So, folks, this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a religion that there's a lot of shooting in, and it's hitting the news all over worldwide, and there's investigations into what is this about. My supposition is that it's mostly about disfellowshipping and shunning, because that's the biggest problem worldwide. They've ripped apart families. They've ripped mothers from sons and fathers from daughters, and they've ripped marriages apart. Fathers and mothers, or husbands and wives, are torn because, let's say, one doesn't want to go to the Kingdom Hall any longer and the other one does. So JW.org will tear that family apart. And that's what's happening all over the world. That's my supposition. People are becoming angry with this cult, this religion. They call it a religion, and it's treated, given charity benefits all over the world. But we all know that because of the high restraints, the disfellowshipping, the shunning of children, that this can no longer be called a religion. So therefore, in the bottom of this video, we have a petition here in Canada to help stop treating religions like this as charities. And we appreciate any Canadians that can help us with the petition. And this will do the same that we're hoping has happened in Norway, where the governments can look at these religions and say, hey, wait a minute, why are we treating them and giving them billions of dollars, and they don't even help the poor people. They don't even help people within. They send their own people to the food bank. So how can we keep treating these organizations as religions? They're really just printing companies, real estate companies that are taking advantage of their religious charities so they can get tax-free land and publish more literature and publish more videos. So folks, until next time, keep living your life with love, and you will reap that back. Thanks again. Have a great day.